Hi all. So let's continue with the session. So now we know the two conditions to recognize property, plant and equipment. Condition number 1, probable flow of future economic benefits. Condition number 2, cost should be measurable. Yes, we also learned that same recognition criteria applies to subsequent expenditure as well. If we incur any subsequent expenditure on an asset, and if that subsequent expenditure satisfies both this recognition criteria of future economic benefits and measurable cost, then that subsequent expenditure can also be capitalized. Yes, we also learned that once recognition criteria is satisfied, we can recognize property, plant and equipment in our financial statements at cost. We also learned what is cost, what to include in cost and what to exclude from cost. Yes, so let's move on to another topic. So now we know what is cost, right? So suppose the cost of property, plant and equipment is $10,000. I have used it for 3 years. Cost is $10,000. I have, say, useful life is 10 years. Fine. So SLM depreciation would be $1,000 per year. Yes, suppose I have used this asset for 3 years. So WDV would be 10,000 minus 1,000 into 3. So the WDV comes to $7,000. Hope you are getting this. Fine. Now when I went to market, or when the company did the market survey, the market value of the asset was $6,000. Fine. As on the same day, suppose मान लीजिए today is 31st March 19, and on this day value of asset is $7,000 in my books, and on the same day value of asset in market is $6,000. Fine. So can I say that my asset is overvalued by $1,000? Yes. So are my financial statements reliable for my stakeholders? No, they are not, because the actual value of asset is $7,000, the actual value of asset is $6,000, whereas my books shows the asset at $7,000. Okay, so in order to make my financial statements more reliable, in order to make my financial statements to reflect a better, true and fair view, right, I need to bring the value of my assets to $6,000. Or let's say the market value is not $6,000 but say $8,000, right? Even then my financial statements are not reliable because my assets are undervalued by $1,000. Yes, so how to bring value of asset to $8,000? Yes, so this is a query. Now there is a concept called subsequent recognition. IAS 16 says that when we recognize an asset, the asset should be initially recognized at cost. But in case of subsequent recognition, IAS 16 gives us two options. Option number 1, cost model. Option number 2, revaluation model. Fine. So what does cost model say? Carry the asset at cost minus accumulated depreciation minus impairment loss. What does revaluation model say? So revaluation model says carry asset at fair value less subsequent depreciation less subsequent impairment loss. Fine. You must note this chart, right? And let us first understand the cost model. So in order to understand cost model, we need to understand impairment loss. See, we know what is cost, we know what is accumulated depreciation. If we know what is impairment loss, we'll be able to value the asset as per cost model, right? So what is impairment? In order to calculate impairment loss, compare carrying amount of the asset with recoverable amount, right? And what is recoverable amount? Recoverable amount is higher of fair value less cost to dispose the asset or value in use. Fine. So we'll understand each term one by one. So if recoverable amount of asset is less than carrying amount, then difference between the two is equal to impairment loss. Fine. Say carrying amount of the asset is equal to $7,000, whereas recoverable amount is equal to $6,000. Then $1,000 is equal to impairment loss. Now the question arises is how to calculate recoverable amount. Fine. So let us understand these two terms. First, let us understand fair value. Fair value is nothing but market value of this used asset minus cost to dispose the same. फाइन. सो हमारा जो एसेट है उसकी बुक्स में वैल्यू है 7,000, फाइन, लेकिन जब मैंने उसकी मार्केट वैल्यू पता करी तो मार्केट वैल्यू वॉज $6,500, फाइन, एंड 500 were required to dispose the same. I contacted a broker and I told him that I want to dispose my asset. Yes, so he said the market value of the asset is $6,500, right? And if you want to dispose it, he will charge 500 as a brokerage. Yes, so cost to dispose would be $500 and market value would be $6,500, right? So fair value would be $6,000. So this is how we calculate fair value less cost to dispose the asset. Fine. Now let us understand value in use. Friends, in previous lecture we discussed the concept of present value, right? We understood the basics of same, and I even informed you that you will understand in detail the concept of present value in some other IAS. That is, you will understand it in IAS 36, you will understand in the financial instruments, you will understand it in IFRS 16 as well, right? So impairment basically is a concept of IAS 36, but we are learning it right now as we need to understand the cost model in detail. We'll learn IAS 36 separately and we'll understand in detail what is impairment, right? But we'll understand here the basics of impairment so that we can learn how to apply cost model in order to value my asset. Fine. So impairment loss, how to calculate it? We'll compare carrying amount of the asset with recoverable amount. And what is recoverable amount? Recoverable amount is higher of fair value less cost to dispose or value in use, whichever is higher. Fine. Now what is value in use? Friends, I have a calculation that each year my asset will generate a revenue of $2,000 for me. Each year my asset will generate a revenue of $2,000 for me. Say suppose remaining life of the asset is 5 years. Fine. Cash flow, that is income that I will generate using the asset every year, would be $2,000. Say $1,000 in 4th year, and $1,000 revenue plus scrap sales $500, right? This is for 5th year. I earned 1,000 and I scrapped my asset for $500. Fine. Now the thing is, if I want to calculate my value in use, it is the value that I will book into my financial statements today, and the cash flows that are written here are the future incomes. Suppose today is 31st March 14. Fine. Suppose today is 31st March 14 and this is 31st March 15. This is 16, 17, 18 and 19. Now what will be the value of revenue generated in 5th year today? So what will be the present value of this 1500 that I will be getting in 2019? What will be the today's value? Repeating again, what will be the today's value? What will be the present value of this 1500 that I'll be generating after 5 years? Fine. So I need to discount this revenue to today. Let's say discounting rate is 15%. Fine. डिस्काउंटिंग रेट इज़ 15%. सो फ्रेंड्स, ये जो डिस्काउंटिंग रेट का जो कंसेप्ट है कि डिस्काउंटिंग रेट कैसे डिराइव होता है, हम इसमें कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स कंसिडर करते हैं इसको कैलकुलेट करने के लिए, दिस यू विल स्टडी व्हेन यू विल बी इन SBR, when you will be at a professional level and you will be studying SBR, right? Your logics will be more clear at that time because you would have faced some practical world until then. Yes, for time being, consider 15% as interest rate. कि सपोज अगर मैं 500 रुपये आज इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ और 15% इंटरेस्ट रेट है, तो 5 साल बाद कितने हो जाएंगे? तो 500 इंटू 1.15 रेज टू 5. यस, अगर मैं 500 रुपये आज इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ एट द रेट ऑफ 15%, तो 5 साल बाद इनकी वैल्यू हो जाएगी 1.15 रेज टू 5. ठीक है, तो सपोज 5 साल बाद इनकी वैल्यू हो गई 750 रुपये. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम नॉट कैलकुलेटेड द सेम, आई एम जस्ट टेकिंग एन एग्जाम्पल. सपोज इसकी वैल्यू हो गई 750 रुपये. फाइन. अब दिस इज वैल्यू आफ्टर 5 ईयर्स एंड इफ आई नीड द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, सपोज मुझे दिया गया है 750 रुपये, आई विल रिसीव 750 आफ्टर 5 ईयर्स एंड आई एम आस्क्ड टू कैलकुलेट व्हाट विल बी द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू एंड आई एम गिवन द इंटरेस्ट रेट इज 15%. तो मैं क्या करूंगा? 750 divided by 1.15 raised to 5 and the answer would be 500. 500 would be the present value. So this is how the concept of present value works. Suppose अगर यहाँ पे 5 नहीं, यहाँ पे 4 होता, ठीक है, और एसेट की वैल्यू होती, सपोज एसेट की वैल्यू होती 700 आफ्टर 4 ईयर्स, ठीक है, और मुझे कहा जाता कि प्रेजेंट वैल्यू फाइंड करो. सो व्हाट आई विल डू, 700 डिवाइड बाय 1.15 रेज टू 4. Simple. Once you do this, you will receive the present value. So the same concept applies here. My cash flow after 1 year would be 2000 and say the discounting rate is 15%. So I will multiply this with 1 divided by 1.15. After 2 years, I will again receive 2000. So I will multiply this by 1.15 square. This is after 3 years, so 1.15 cube, 1.15 raised to 4 and multiply by 1.15 raised to 5. Fine. So whatever would be the answer, I will calculate the same and whatever would be the total figure, say suppose the total is $5,000. So 5,000 would be my value in use. Now what amount to compare this with? In order to arrive at recoverable amount, what is the formula? Formula is compare fair value and value in use. So my fair value less cost to disposal was $6,000. Yes. And what is my value in use? My value in use is $5,000. And higher of the two is recoverable amount. So my recoverable amount would be $6,000. Fine. So now I know my recoverable amount is $6,000. And I also know my carrying amount is $7,000. So my carrying amount is more than the recoverable amount. Yes, that means my asset is overvalued. So this $1,000 would be my impairment loss. I hope you are getting this, guys. Fine. So we have a practical on this. We'll first read the theory and then we'll move on to the practical. So let's read the theory part, subsequent recognition. An asset is initially recognized at cost. However, the standard offers two possible treatments for subsequent recognition of an asset, that is cost model and revaluation model. Fine. We understood what is cost model and we are yet to learn what is revaluation model. Fine. So let's move on to the sum of cost model. Impairment is determined by comparing the carrying amount of the asset with its recoverable amount, and recoverable amount is the higher of assets fair value less cost to disposal and its value in use. ये भी हमने समझ लिया. Fine. So let's move on to an example. Cost model. Mars Limited gives the following estimate of cash flows relating to property, plant and equipment on 31st March 2014. The discount rate is 15%. So friends, discount rate हमको क्वेश्चन में दिया जाएगा. ठीक है. आज की डेट क्या है? 31st March 14. Fine. So what is today's date? Today's date is 31st March 14. In 2014-15, that is by 31st March 15, we'll be earning 2,000 pounds. That is after 1 year. After 2 years, we'll be earning 3,000. Then 3,000 again, then 4,000, then 2,000 at the end of 31st March 19. Fine. And 500 is residual value. Residual value means scrap value. Now, property, plant and equipment was purchased on 1st April 2011 for 20,000. 2011 में खरीदा था 1st अप्रैल को 20,000 में. Useful life was 8 years. Residual value, that is scrap value at the end of 8 years, was 500 pounds. Fair value less cost to disposal is 10,000. So fair value less cost to disposal is given in the question. Fine. And how much it is? It is 10,000 pounds. So here we need to calculate the impairment loss. Fine. Or we need to find the carrying amount of the asset using the cost model. So what will we calculate first? We'll calculate the carrying amount as on 31st March 14. We purchased the asset on 1st April 2011. We need to calculate the carrying amount of asset on 2014. That is after 3 years. Fine. So we'll calculate the depreciation first. 20,000 was the purchase price. 20,000 minus scrap value divided by 8 into 3 will give us depreciation for 3 years. So this is the carrying amount as on 31st March 14. Fine. Now we'll calculate value in use. See, we have carrying amount. We need to compare this carrying amount with recoverable value. And what is recoverable value? Recoverable value is higher of fair value less cost to disposal और value in use. ठीक है. तो fair value less cost to disposal हमको दिया गया है. हमारे पास क्या नहीं है? Value in use नहीं है. लेकिन value in use कैलकुलेट करने के लिए हमको डेटा दिया गया है, हमको कैश फ्लोज दिए गए हैं. So our cash flows for these 5 years are 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 2,500. Like it is same as what we had done in the example given on the previous sheet. Fine. So this is the present value factor. अब 0.869 कैसे आया? You can take out your calculators. यहाँ पे discounting rate हमें दिया है 15%. Fine. So if you do 1 divided by 1.15, you will arrive at 0.869. Fine. So this is same. If you do 1 divided by 1.15 whole square, you will arrive at 0.756. And this is 0.756. Then you have to 1.15 ka cube, 1 divided by 1.15 raised to 4, and then 1 divided by 1.15 raised to 5, and you will receive all these present value factors. You need to multiply this present value factors with your cash flows and you will arrive at this figures. And the total of all this is value in use. लॉजिक सिंपल है दोस्तों. मेरा asset भले ही मार्केट में उसकी वैल्यू है 5,000, ठीक है, सेकेंड हैंड अगर मैं अपने एसेट को सेल करता हूँ तो मार्केट वैल्यू उसकी 5,000 है, दैट इज़ फेयर वैल्यू। लेकिन अगर वो एसेट मेरे लिए जो प्रोडक्ट्स मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहा है उससे मुझे जो रेवेन्यू जनरेट होने वाला है अगले 5 सालों में, उसका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू अगर 5,000 से ज़्यादा है, सपोज 6,000, ठीक है, तो 6,000 विल बी द वैल्यू ऑफ एसेट फॉर मी एंड नॉट 5,000। इसीलिए कहा गया है फेयर वैल्यू और वैल्यू इन यूज विच एवर इज हायर। फेयर वैल्यू इज योर मार्केट वैल्यू एंड वैल्यू इन यूज इज the value that you calculate of the asset by estimating the cash flows of next 5 years or the period that you decide. फाइन, आपको पता है कि इस एसेट की यूजफुल लाइफ 5 साल होगी या सपोज 6 साल होगी, तो आप 6 साल का कैश फ्लो प्रिडिक्ट करोगे, 3 साल होगी तो 3 साल का कैश फ्लो प्रिडिक्ट करोगे, ठीक है, और उसका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकालोगे। तो आपके लिए ये एसेट जो रेवेन्यू जनरेट करने वाला है वही आपके लिए क्या होगी, इस एसेट की वैल्यू। सिंपल है फ्रेंड्स, समझ में आ रहा है, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट स्टेप, तो हमने कैलकुलेट कर लिया कैरिंग अमाउंट ऑफ द एसेट, हमने कैलकुलेट कर लिया वैल्यू इन यूज, फाइन। अब हम चलते हैं कैलकुलेशन ऑफ रिकवरेबल अमाउंट। रिकवरेबल अमाउंट मतलब क्या होता है, वैल्यू इन यूज इज 9510, फेयर वैल्यू लेस कॉस्ट टू डिस्पोजल इज 10,000 एंड हायर ऑफ द टू इज रिकवरेबल अमाउंट। सो व्हाट इज हायर ऑफ द टू? हायर ऑफ द टू इज 10,000. So 10,000 is my recoverable amount, and now I will compare this 10,000 with the carrying amount of my asset. Carrying amount we calculated was 12,687. We will compare it with recoverable amount and we can see that the carrying amount is more than the recoverable amount, hence the asset is impaired by 2687. So we'll book this impairment loss in P&L account. Fine. So 2687 is our carrying amount. So 2687 is our impairment loss, and the revised carrying amount would be 12,000 minus 2687, that is 10,000. So my revised carrying amount would be 10,000. Now my asset will reflect in my financial statements at 10,000. Fine. Now say remaining life of asset is 5 years. So the new value of asset in books of account is 10,000. Fine, 10,000 minus residual value, that is scrap value that I will receive after 5 years. जब 5 साल के बाद मैं asset बेचूंगा तो मुझे कितना मिलेगा? 500. Fine. तो 10,000 minus 500 divide by 5, that is my depreciation per year for next 5 years. Fine friends, so this is how cost model works. We'll revise it once again. Fine, so we started with this. So what is concept of subsequent recognition? Suppose my assets are undervalued or overvalued. I need to bring them at exact value. IAS 16 offers me two measurement options, that is I can measure my asset at cost model or using revaluation model. So what is cost model? Cost model is carry the asset at cost minus accumulated depreciation minus impairment loss. Fine. So we try to understand what was impairment loss. Fine, we know what is cost, we know what is accumulated depreciation. We need to understand the impairment loss. In order to understand impairment loss, we need to compare what is the carrying amount of the asset and with the recoverable amount of the asset. Asset का carrying amount क्या है? That is WDV in the books with the recoverable amount. Now what is recoverable amount? Recoverable amount is higher of value in use or fair value less cost to disposal. इन दोनों में से जो भी amount ज़्यादा होगा उसको हम क्या मानेंगे? Recoverable amount. Recoverable amount को हम compare करेंगे asset की WDV से, that is carrying amount of the asset in my books. अगर मेरा रिकवरेबल अमाउंट कैरिंग अमाउंट से ज़्यादा है तो कोई इम्पेयरमेंट नहीं होगा, ठीक है। अगर मेरा रिकवरेबल अमाउंट कैरिंग अमाउंट से कम है तो दोनों का डिफरेंस विल बी चार्ज टू P&L अकाउंट इन द नेम ऑफ इम्पेयरमेंट लॉस एंड माई एसेट विल बी शोन इन द बैलेंस शीट एट रिवाइज्ड कैरिंग अमाउंट. And yes, what would be the general entry? General entry would be impairment loss account debit to asset account. Fine. So this is how we calculate carrying amount, recoverable amount, and depreciation will be provided, further depreciation will be provided on the new carrying amount as we saw in the previous sum. Fine. Now let us understand what is revaluation model.